Kahunas to my right.
All right, how's everyone doing? Thank you for that one, Sharif, Yannick. Great show, some VFS. Glad we had that 65 level mark down there as it just continued to tank all afternoon when this market really is holding up pretty damn high, man. Up 1.9% right now. Ooh-wee. As we go, I need to take a fill so you guys can see the position that I'm in right here. Look, we've been shorting AMD. We got out of the way, so it was okay. Not completely disastrous. Our Google trade was the strangest one of all time, to be completely honest with you. What was such a strong name, we ripped it all the way up, 134.69. We're out here 132.50, and then our last out was right there on the break of the 50 period moving average. Although the market stays up real high, this going down low. So we'll have to watch to see Google possibly now trying to get some love off this 133.75. But still, great move to the upside. And yeah, unfortunately, Brendan not feeling well either. So he tapped out right now. So I'm taking care of everybody around here, apparently. I mean, it's like, you know, like what's going on right now? You know, Teflon Sean over here just nailing people out of this place. But again, you know, they're feeling significantly worse than I ever was. So hopefully they can get better, and then hopefully you don't catch anything as well. And I do have, I was talking with Brendo, air purifiers.
Yeah.
Why not get those on order, baby? Put one around here, get this going.
Yeah, that
air
could
purifiers.
Work. That could work, definitely.
Makes sense to me. I mean, we're spending $12,000 on coffee machines.
Yeah, exactly, right? Maybe a little bit of better capital allocation.
Like I heard that number, and I was like, nah, that's not real. Like that was just like a rumor. Like I'd heard that too.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew our old one was like $5 or $6 grand or something like that. Yeah. And then I Googled it, and I was like, 12 grand?
Fancy.
Like super fancy.
Yeah.
Like, what are we, idiots?
Oh, you fancy.
Like, are we just so stupid around here that like we're buying $350 shoes as well?
I mean, those are nice.
Yeah, thanks.
Those are real nice.
Yeah, these are nice.
Bang.
The Yeezys. The Yeezys.
What are those?
They came. Shut up. They came in today. My daughter was like, "Open up your shoes." So I was like, "Aight." But yeah, air purifier. I think that would be a good idea. Okay, we do have Frank Caberna coming through today as well at 2:45. So Sharif will handle that. So that should be really fun. I don't know if we probably won't do a rundown today, Sharif's. Or if you want to. Okay, yeah, Sharif's gonna work on it. This guy, hardest working man around. That is.
Oh my God.
For sure. So shout out to Sharif. Yeah. Fabian, don't worry about it. I got this. Right there. So. Enphase. I love some Enphase, Rudy. I actually forgot to look at that. Shout out to the reliable one. You know, you can't have a name Reliable Rudy and then not be reliable. I mean, so shout out to Rudy, the reliable one. GBTC. You want to talk about an algo? Look at my GBTC trades.
Wow. You are the algo.
Look at this.
It seems with all those entries.
Look at this. Look at this. My number one stock today, so that's, nice. You know, GBTC is in the building, ladies and gentlemen, right there with those fills. Right now, we had a monster move up there. Unfortunately, we've been preparing for this show. We've been looking at a few other things and did stop trading it at about 130 or so, or 115 or so. And there it is, making the move to the downside. We still do have Coinbase on board as well as, sorry, go ahead.
That's crazy. You pretty much took every price. You pretty much took every single price there. That's pretty crazy.
Yep. Purples are shorts. Reds are me selling. So yeah, it's pretty good, pretty happy with the way we traded that one. And that's the problem is like, I just trade very similarly both no matter what we're looking at right there. But that's GBTC. And then Coinbase, we lost on Coinbase today. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I'm actually just holding the last 30% of this trade because we have a few outs down here at the 50 period off of our last short. We just kept shorting it until eventually we got the top. So it was okay. Made the money back. Should have obviously got out. We went in hindsight. You're looking at this. I'm waiting for VWAP down here at 82. We'll see if that can come in, but Coinbase definitely holding out high side rate now. That is Coinbase. Remember to join me after hours, and we will talk about the market recap. We will be talking about some crypto spots on there. I have Chris Bretcher coming through again. He was a great hit last week talking about options from Simpler Trading and a great day trader there. So he's going to come through. He has a couple wicked patterns he wants to talk about as well. So that is that. People are spamming the chat with ICCT. The thing about ICCT is, and we sort of did talk about this. Oh no, it's not in our system. Actually, that was the reason why we don't have it today. So ICCT, let me just call it up on the 5-minute chart here on eSignal. This is not in our system for some reason. We'll find out what the reason exactly is. Did it just IPO yesterday? Yes. So here's the daily chart on this thing. So just chilling out at 30 cents or 0. Came to market, blasting up today. But the problem with it right now is it is. Let's just do this together here. Oh yeah. By the way. Here's the machine, Obi.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that looks similar to the one that's back there.
Not only does this look similar, I think ours is more expensive because we have the milk condenser attached to it.
Jura Giga X8C G2 Super Automatic Espresso Machine.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. All right, see ya.
Almost like Elon named that.
NASDAQ halt. Okay, so right here. So I'll do the Neil job right now. You know, I got to leave some stuff for that guy. All right, so here we go. So let's just go to the upside right here and just check it out. So this is what we go to when we're looking at halts. Oh, there's my fantasy football page. We got to declare our keepers by Friday. Here it is right here. So ICCT at 12:23 today halted. So iCore Connect, and you just hover over T1, news pending. So you're going to have to be as patient as we are right now. When you see LUDP, what do you think that stands for?
The LUDP. I call them the LUDPs.
LUDPs. The LUDPs,
the
correct.
LUDPs?
Yeah,
that's
limit up,
usually
limit
like
down.
a momentum halt.
Yeah, limit up, limit down, exactly. So the LUDPs are right there. So we'll just wait. So anyways, it comes on here. This is actually a great resource. So if there's anything here that you guys want to check out, go over, just type in Google NASDAQ halts. It's on NASDAQ Trader. And then that will come up and it'll give you sort of all of the details. But yeah, unfortunately, for anybody asking us about ICCT, we have it. Let's just check out NEO really quickly as we go back. Wow, NEO, well, what a good day for NIO there today. Surprising. We actually really hit this, and Obi, you're telling me that the guys were videotaping it and you saw this trade today, and we absolutely got a great move to the downside on NIO, but then look what's happened since. It's made its way all the way back, and here's 1060, man. We talked about 1060 as a possible shorting area for NEO earlier, and that's actually what's on the sticky note. And what else is on the sticky note here? We'll talk about this when we go over to Sharif, but $65 support level on VFS. We talked about that. If it breaks it, bail. Gave you a $10 winner, then a $15 winner on the short. We talked about going long on Google, and we talked about going long on Tesla. Like, wow, man, today was a really, really hot day for the market, that is for sure. But okay, you know, as I just said, Sharif's been locked and loaded here. So let's go over to him and see what he wants to talk about for the afternoon show.
Hey guys, yeah, let's start off here with the rundown. NEO, the first topic. We heard about this one this morning reporting, and definitely missed on the top and bottom line. Deliveries down year over year and quarter on the quarter. The only saving grace, though, they are actually guiding 50 to 57,000 vehicles for the third quarter. It was down over 10% on the day, guys, and it was short sale restricted. Now recovered a bit, only down 3.81. What's the look here, Obi?
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, let's talk about NEO here. I still got that Bitcoin up from before, just stair stepping a little bit, right? So I'm keeping that in mind. We held that 27.5 and just stair stepping up. So, yeah, NEO. Let's see what NEO has done today. Yeah. We were watching, I was watching some tape back there with Wayne, and then back at the meeting as well, we shared some highlights of some of the opportunities that NEO gave us today. And I think, yeah, definitely in the morning, in and around that 10 level, there were great opportunities, and then there was some distinct action when some of this consolidation and these bottoms were formed as well. So great opportunities there. We sold off on that news pretty heavily, but then we've kind of rebid back up and kind of consolidating back above that $10 level that we said was a pretty decent area of interest, right? So I think that's a decent look on NEO.
All right. Yeah, we just talked about that over and over again with NIO, and I think it's worth talking about even more because we had earnings obviously today, and they were pretty disappointing. So when you want to check out whatever the earnings plays may be, make sure you go over to watchthis.tradertv.live, and we're sending that out absolutely free daily as I try to find it right here. We talked about PDD. Hold on a second, I just got to open this in a new page so I can show it to everybody live here on the show. But here it is right here. So NIO today, again, you know, we're going to do this for you every single day. There it is, NIO today. What a disaster, man. 5.4 billion yuan, losing that much money against 4.78, so they miss on that. 6.1% decline on sales. But you know, they are doing different things right now, NIO. And obviously, as you can see, it got hit early, people trying to liquidate their positions. But right now, you're back into a level that back into these pre-market levels right now. So 60, 61. I'd mentioned going short off of this. We might be able to do that right now because the high was, what is that high right there? 65s? I mean, I don't mind shorting against 65, 66 right now. So that's been a decent spot, but the momentum's up, right? I mean, you know, if you're going to play the trend, you got to play the trend as your friend. Since we basically got out, it's kind of just been upside. It's really hovering around the 200 period. Good trading there for NIO if you got it. But yeah, we hit the short and we left it alone. That's the kind of trading that we'd like to do more often, right? Is kind of like a hit it and quit it. Make your strategy known. Hit it when it's working, get more when it's working, and then get out, right? And if we zoom into sort of where we were today on all these outs, you know, most of them down here in the 60s. Once we hit this short through 10, that was the easy play. We started covering immediately at 86s. Then we realized that there was a big size player there trying to follow it down. And that's when we got more short here at 77 or 78. And then it just kept on going to the downside. So we, at one point, we're down 12%. Because I remember looking at that saying, what? We're SSR? And we were SSR. So NIO right now heading a nice little move back up to the upside. So yeah, good job on that one. Li Auto, some of the other names really starting to get going today. Lita 43 and change, up 10%. And again, you know, although XPEV, right there, you know, had that deal the other day with Didi. Then they also have the deal with Volkswagen. So XPEV starting to go back up to the upside. Some of these Chinese EV names looking, oh, actually Rivian. Okay, Rivian I thought was 20, now 22, man. Wow, rising tide lifts all ships, as there goes Rivian as well, back up to the upside. So yeah, hey man, EVs. You know, that's what everyone's talking about right now. Tesla, wow. Is Tesla on the board there? Big tech, yeah. Big tech. Okay, so we'll talk about Tesla in a minute, but let's just spoil it right now. 7% for Tesla as well. All right, Sharif, let's go.
Heads up, guys. Awaiting Biden news conference. Medicare said to be looking to negotiate with Big Pharma with respect to drug prices. So be on the lookout there. All right, let's get to the other Chinese name here on the board, PDD, Pinduoduo. Reporting this morning, and the market liking what they're seeing, up over 16% on the day. They beat on the top and bottom line, owing to a lot of the Temu app here that we use in the United States and Canada. The consumer in China getting squeezed, and they're looking for discounts. What's the look on PDD, guys?
Okay, first of all, wait a second. So we are now 40 cents in the money. AMD is starting to come back in again. We're just getting a good fall back through 6. We're at 106 right now. We just put a bid at 97, and what a surprise. We shot it back up. That's what I'm saying. Like, right now, this market is just so finicky. Like, it's crazy. Okay, so, all right, come on. Like, honestly, we put a bid at 97. All right, so hopefully it fills us down there. So, yeah, nice move down for AMD. Hopefully we can capitalize on that. We have some more bids, 92, and then a little bit lower than that. Okay, so we wrote down PDD today that we really liked a 93 break, right? And so if you're going to look onto here for that, we also, I mean, I didn't write it down on the sticky note, but we did talk about it, that if you like the short, I feel like you were going to get short in front of 93. So whatever price you did that, but there's the 93 top that we hit on the daily back in early August. Now you're starting to take it up. Obviously, it breaks there, and then let's just zoom in to see what it did right away, almost immediately on open. So there it is. If you liked it, there was your in, right? I mean, it gave you these pre-market bottoms. That's something that I'm really noticing. Okay, good. I did get that 97. That's one thing that I'm noticing here when we're talking about bottoms and pre-market bottoms for earning names. It's either you're going to wick down there like we did. Like, so here's the market opening up with lots of volume, makes a nice move up from 90 to basically 91.30, then crushes back down to 89.50. Right? So it takes out that pre-market bottom, but then just wicking around. This is only a 1 minute chart. Like, that's how nuts it was off the open. And you don't really see that for NASDAQ names. Sometimes you'll see that for New York names where liquidity dries up and there's just no one on the book, but really surprised to see that on the NASDAQ. And then bang, straight up to the upside. And if you shorted in front of 93, you had some outs. I mean, it was easy. It bounced around there, 93.05, 93.07. Then it gave it to you. It even came back again, 93.20s or so before making that huge move into 96. And right now it's quiet time, sleepy for PDD right now. Still has that bottom of 93.20. So again, that came back into play. You could have hit that again. So I don't know, man. It's just 93.20 here. Seems to be pretty decent. I feel like if it comes back into 93, you may want to short it. You'd be under view up at that point. Then you could use this 93.20 or so as a sort of protection spot. There it is. So the spread can get spready, which makes sense. If we're like this, 2-3 cents at 215, imagine what this would have looked like, obviously, right off the open. So pretty violent name there for PDD. And again, a great earnings report for them, up that 16% on some random app called Temu.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. I like that you mentioned that pre-market low grab there. I think that was a decent place as well. Like the 90 holds so cleanly right before into the open, and then you kind of drop in just about what is this? About 50 cents. About actually 40 pennies down. What's the low on that candle right there? Yeah, 50 cents just below that 90, and then just pop right back in. So this is a 5-minute candle. Yeah, that was a clean drive. Lick grabbed the pre-market low, and then you break pre-market highs. That pretty clean top here at this 92.40 level consolidation pre-market high off of that earnings, right? So the earnings reaction consolidation high versus low, pre-market low, and then you get an interaction with both those prices, and then you see that it breaks to the upside again with the kind of the rest of the market, right? So decent opening drive on PDD.
All right, guys, let's talk a little bit of Tesla now here on the big tech names. Tesla up over 6 2/3% today. No specific catalyst for this one, but there was a headline that came in just before 2 o'clock. Here it is. Tesla gets special order from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration over autopilot feature. Not necessarily a bullish headline here, guys, but showing no signs of moving down. 254.98 the high. What's the look?
I mean, the look is a good one. I mean, we've been talking about that. I know Neil bought some at 220. We've been long for a hell of a long time. We actually recently bought some at 240. You guys saw on the show here live as well. So it's nice to see Tesla getting that bump up. We saw ARK today up 2+% as well, with crypto obviously bouncing around there. But yeah, so today, despite that news, it was Tesla taking out this 244. We're back up on the 50-period moving average rate here. Who's on the board over there? Ramin? No, Fabian. Right there, taking it out. 244 and change, so that really sparked it. We've been up here before. Great move for Tesla. I said there's 3 or 4 names I want to buy on dips. Uber, Tesla, I want to get some Airbnb. There must have been another one as well. Oh, Enphase I want to get as well. But right there, nice move for Tesla, just hitting some of these 254s. I'm not going to use these top wicks to mean anything because I got to check it again to see what's up with those. But it's been a huge move. We don't have any of this. We can't have everything, but we don't have everything at all on Tesla today. Would have been great to hit this long at some point. There's 244. That's the 50-period moving average on a daily chart right here. So it took that out, and boom goes the dynamite. Straight upside. Really no pullbacks all day. I mean, this was a pullback of 80. I guess about a buck right there from 51, no, my bad, to 49, so $2 came through, and then you could have just rode. Someone said Tesla was riding the teal all day. Not so much, but maybe it wasn't Tesla, but the 50 period was pretty good, and we're just hovering around it right now. And Tesla's up to 255, so you want to break that? Maybe that's a good short, and use that against 255. Shorting this trend really hasn't been your friend to do that kind of play. So today, the NASDAQ's up 2%. It's been a monster day. I think Tesla could continue this move through 255. We'll see about putting it on, but I'd rather buy the dip. So looking at a 253, something like that. The 200 period hasn't been breached at all, but it is tightening up right now, so we could get a dip back into 253.20 or so.
Yeah, that 244 area as well, that triple top from yesterday, looking left, that kind of that sell-off from last Thursday, and then even before that, you have these kind of just underneath that 240 level selling off. So this was a place, I guess, over the past couple of weeks where like you had some strong selling whenever this area kind of came into play. It always kind of sold off. You sold off last Tuesday, and then you sold off on Thursday, and then you sold off yesterday as well. Coming in today with a really hot market, look at the rip through that price, right? So that right there, that what is that, 44.30s, I think it was. So look at how clean this is on the 3 minute or even the 1 minute, if you want to take a look at that. So through that price, that was convincingly like a place where sellers were showing up over and over again in the recent couple of weeks. You break through that price and look at that. There is no looking back. There's absolutely no looking back. And to be honest, no real reason to sell. I don't see anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that play.
If you're long from down there, yeah.
I mean, I know we just talked about Tesla, but I mean, we had a real good banger this morning, man, and it was Google. It's going to be my number one stock. Well, GBTC is my number one stock, but number one big cap tech name here. Google. We noticed it early, man. We wrote down 130 that we really liked that in case we got a dip. Remember, the NASDAQ was actually red today, to be honest with you. When we started the show, it was red. But, nice move up there on Google. We were able to be really, really cheeky with it and got a pullback. So we knew we missed this. We waited for a pullback. Into VWAP was the first take, then into the 50 period was the second take. Then it just started going. We were having some troubles at like 133 and change. So we got a lot out there, then 133.80, then 134.75, and then the breakdown at 135.80. Get out of that one to end the trade for $3 and change. So that was pretty good. But then now it's having a hard time again. So I don't know why this dipped back down in, but look at Google. It's like one of the only names right now at its highs, right? I mean, it's at 52-week highs. Right now, Google's right there. This is probably all-time highs, to be honest with you. I'd have to go back and double check it because there was the split and everything like that. But there it is right now, man. Google takes out 136. Good level today. At highs, you're not going to find any of the other names on there as you go through near high. Well, Amazon, I guess, is hovering around there. But wasn't Amazon 140, I believe? Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, 140 on earnings. So we're a little lower than that right now. And then Meta's
been fading off since earnings.
Been fading off, yeah. And that's what I mean. Google's one of the only names that have held out strength there. So we can't talk about big cap without looking at Google. But that's that. The next play there, yeah, you're looking at Amazon there. The next play is going to be with crypto. So let's go get that story from Sharif.
Yeah, up over 7.5% right now, Sean. As we know what happened, the court ruled in favor of Grayscale against the SEC in favor of a Bitcoin ETF. They're looking for that lawsuit. We know that the ARK, Fidelity, BlackRock, they all have their own suits to file that spot Bitcoin ETF. 7.5% today, guys. Any look here?
Grayscale, yeah. So I was just, any look? Yeah, I mean, we already talked about sort of the looks that I had on GBTC.
Painted the chart.
Just scalping back and forth. It is my number one stock today, so just in and out, in and out. I just took advantage of all the liquidity, really, on this and just scalped out a couple pennies here and there, gave some Jeff Mendel some love with some of those rebates and actionable events right there. So he's going to make some money off me today for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's obviously a good opportunity here to look at this. So we'll see. It's a nice move up. Bitcoin today, where's my Bitcoin chart? I'll have to find it. I must have closed or I have it somewhere else. But GBTC obviously leading the way. Other names like Mara. What is Bitcoin up today? What is
Bitcoin
it say on there?
is right now 14? It's at 27,930.
Okay, so go over to your screen. So look, that was a big move there. So where did we start at there, Obi?
So right here we started. So the move came in around 1020, right? 1020. That's about the time that move came in.
It was the price 25 and change.
25, just under 26s. I think we were trading, and then that news comes out. The first heavy volume candle right there pushes us from 26, and then we get going 26.3s, and then it just decides on that break. Like you can see that we kind of consolidated over the past couple of days since Monday around this price. So yeah, initial reaction, that news kind of comes in, we blast off to the upside, and you guys know what a lot of crypto names did: Mara, Riot. BTBT, you have MSTR for those of you who are a little more risk taking.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely this we talked about that 27.5 kind of coming in, and look at this consolidation of that 27.5. So you kind of consolidate, you stair step above that consolidation. Now we're doing that consolidation right underneath or in and around this 28. So I like that step up. Now looking left as well on BTC, we know that it definitely has not reached anywhere to its former glory, right? So we still need to surpass this 30K, this 32 to kind of really get going. But take a look. Since down here, we have been kind of trending up. Right, I was waiting for like a distinct flush past this 15. Never got it. Right, never got it in the past couple of years. I'm like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to flush past this 15, and then we're going to have some decent prices to kind of interact with down here. That never came in, and then we're kind of turning off of these previous highs here. Yeah, let's see where we go.
I wouldn't mind talking a little bit about Coinbase. We just shorted again near 86 bucks. Our average price now 85.80. It's just touching the 50 period right now. So there's a short. Because we had a short earlier, we took some out there for profit. We were short higher than this. So now we'll wait to see here what happens. 85.40 we just took it, and now that's 85 and change. I am bidding 85.10s right now. So the lowest it went there was 19s. So let's see. We are going to be in the pocket here in case this does flush again into the close. But I just want to give a shout out to who was that? It was a crazy name there. DY. Oh, here it is right here. We've got to bring it down. Pull. Here it is right here. Shout out to DJ. I'm not even going to pretend to know what that is. BITO options up 2,400%. So I actually asked them what options those were. I'm going to assume they're weeklies right there. So I always feel like you're going to pay up naturally for options on names when they're expecting a ruling on something like that, but I feel like that's a great move up there on BITO. So again, just another sort of, I'm going to find out what exactly this is called here. This is BITO is ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. So there's an ETF right now for you on GBTC. So again, nice bottoms. You sort of mentioned, sort of leveling off a little bit. And then there's the bump back up. So we're just at the 200 period again. So if you do like Bitcoin and you think that there's a lot more room to this and these legs are real, then I would say that this is just the tip of the iceberg. So you can get going on this one for sure. So BITO. And then meanwhile, we're going to talk about VFS next, which I know the big guy had a good trade on that one. I'm going to get another piece out at O's if we can. You could see here AMD did fall back down a little bit. Again, we were kind of robotic on this. This kind of looks like GBTC where we finally got that top there at 106.20, getting it out all the way down here. Then we shorted again here, which wound up losing. And then the last two shorts have come in to roost a little bit here as well. So good levels here on AMD, but it took a minute to get here because obviously with the NASDAQ up so far, you had to wait for some of these fills. So, all right, patience rules the day. One more time here, Obi. Let's go over to the desk with, oh, yes, sir, buddy. Before we do that, the man that's always in the club, Sharif, we just took $1 right there on Coinbase. Let's see if we can get a little bit more on this one. All right, let's go over, man. Mr. EDM himself.
Yeah, heads up, guys. Joe Biden on the mic. They're looking to talk about Medicare actually limiting the drug prices for seniors. So eye on biotech and pharma here. All right, let's get to VFS. It had a 6-day winning streak over until today. It's down over 37% at times. During that time, it racked up over 435% of gains. Today, though, shedding $64 billion in market cap as it tries to hold 50 bucks, guys. What's the look here?
They say. But what's the look? The look is this. You just look at the sticky note and we say that it's going to hold 65 or you're going to get busted on that level. So let's just go over to VFS. Come on, Coinbase. Get down, man. Get down. We got to join. We all got to get in that club right now. So let's just review what happened today. We don't need to look back or anything like that. Let's just look at what happened today. So, okay, so the market, this is yesterday. So the market opens up right here. Look what that bottom is, $65. I wrote that down at 8 o'clock. They gave you that bottom and it ripped right back to 73. Not only did we talk about this being the possible bottom, but we said if it ever hits and doesn't hold, bail. And I actually said this live. We came on there, we talked about this live when it was just about to break right here. And I said, you know what? You're just breaking 65 right now. If you want to give it to 64, that makes a little bit of sense. And then when that happened, it was boom, boom, pow, immediately down to $57. Immediately down. Once you broke 65, you went immediately down. Did I say immediately already? Hey, Rob, how's it going? Nice move to the downside. It's not going bad, thank you. All the way to the downside right there, hits 57, then bounces. So, I mean, that's a hard trade. There's no way you catch that bottom. I don't know. Where did you reload it, Sharif? What did you have?
I never reloaded. I had 66.
Okay, so he had the breakdown from 65, 66. That's great. I was thinking that there was a good reload opportunity right there, so I wasn't sure if he did that. But then it just fell back in, and of course holds 50. So 50 was a great out. Shout out to Reliable Rudy and everybody there in the chat that sort of helped my guy out with that. I know Sharif took that out. We were a little nervous about that. It did break back down into 49, but that looks like a temporary bottom there for VFS. So look, we knew the dynamite would eventually blow up on this thing. Today it blew up a little bit down to $36. I still feel like there's a lot of help here. So I don't know. We'll see. We're waiting for that report of the release of more shares. Right now, it's like 99% being held by the owner, which is what caused this huge move up in VFS. So I know I didn't have any trades on it. I do not believe you did.
Nope.
Any comments? I mean, I feel like we've sort of beat this one down a little bit, but.
Yeah, I like that it kind of rejected off of yesterday's double bottom. We saw that kind of strength come in, and that support turned to resistance very clearly today, right out the open. And then you got that lower high as well on the 73 to kind of, I guess, execute on that idea on the confirmation that this trend is kind of coming in. But yeah, no, definitely, we saw how volatile this name was, right? So definitely you had to be a little wary as a short to not get a little slapped up on this chop. But yeah, once it started to pick a direction and kind of started selling off, yeah, no looking back off of that 76 level.
I just love here how, let us know if we have to go back to Sharif at any point. We will do that. VFS to $3 by Friday. Yeah, Ramin's there though, Fabian. So you just tell me, can I do it anyways? Right. Okay, we got something to do and then we'll come back. Let's go, Fabian.
A rundown brought to you by Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used on the desk by everyone you see on the show. See what's moving in the moment. Check out the QR code, bottom right corner of the screen, guys. Take advantage of this if you haven't. Great deal, 20% off. TraderTV20. Shout out to our friends over at Trade Ideas.
All right, I know we have on the board that it's 30% off. That is incorrect. So we'll look at that very, very soon. So I don't know if you wanted to fix that, Ramin, but it does say 30%. It's only 20 right now. All right, let's go back to the chat. Shout out to everybody that's here today. Thank you so much for coming. Come over to my screen. I have a very important question to ask Obi right now. So Noah asks, chocolate milk or strawberry?
Chocolate milk.
Yeah, I mean,
chocolate milk.
Good. So let's go. I mean,
Yeah,
even Rob over here.
Didn't even have to think about that one.
Yeah, that's for me. I just said I'm Choco right there. So I don't know if anybody wants to put it in here. What's going on, Severance? That's hilarious. Why doesn't everybody just mention right here what their preference would be as well? Chocolate, choco. I cannot believe that that's even a question, to be honest with you. I would, for me, and I get that strawberry has a, a place in many people's hearts. I would banana. I almost threw up in my mouth. Banana milk?
No.
I don't know. Rob's talking nonsense over here. I just wanted
milk
to
is
say
already
that
pushing it, but
I'd almost prefer. Let's see. Here's Noah says LOL. See, Noah, you get me to do anything here. Choco, 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 choco. I haven't seen any strawberries yet. Yeah, Neapolitan. That'd be a sick one. Right there, a little bit of a mix. But no, I almost prefer just like regular 1% milk or whatever over strawberry. Strawberry definitely has a place in many people's hearts, though. I got to give it to that. I feel like you need to be almost like younger, like, I don't know, just a weird taste. Like Wendy's here in Canada, they have the Frosty. I'm sure they have it obviously down south as well. There was the strawberry one. I mean, they tried to release that last summer. I don't even know if they did it this summer. I don't think that went over that well either. But, strawberry milkshakes are actually pretty good. Dairy Queen, you get that strawberry, I think it's called strawberry cheese quake, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I can't remember the last time I've had strawberry milk.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Ice cream chocolate.
Okay, so you're just okay.
Yeah, just like
so the milk thing, yeah.
Like I like a Rocky Road. That's
you
really
like the
nice.
Rocky
But,
Road,
like
yeah?
anything, I'll take anything chocolate. Like I'm not.
My guy over
really-
here likes
yeah.
Tiger Tail and mint. Rob does. So my wife likes mint. I mean, I think mint is pretty popular. You know that. Anyways, you like the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's. I haven't had a shake in forever. Oh man, we were at. I was at. That's 3 days in a row now. We've had Little League practice, and like finally tonight, it's my daughter. We're taking my daughter out and her friends out to the Mandarin. They wanted to go out for dinner, and she chose Mandarin. Some of her friends haven't been there. That's a Chinese buffet, so you know, eating light. So I don't know. I'll be the one getting ripped off because you know it's so expensive. So I think it's like 30. Is it 36 or something like that? Dollars per head there at half price for the kids. There's no way you eat that much Chinese food. Like, it's ridiculous, but whatever. She likes to go there, so.
That's always a fun spot.
Yeah, it's a fun
Yeah.
spot. That's why she wanted to go there. So her friends can like run around like maniacs. My parents going to be there, my brother, and some of her friends. And Baxter, my eldest, is here. He's here right now, so shout out to Baxter coming through today. So yeah, it should be a really, really fun day for us. Today, you're just gonna go get some sleep.
Yeah, I got to catch up on that sleep for
Do you
tomorrow.
have any more?
But,
Did you have more of those plans tonight, or no? That's finished with.
No, that's
okay.
that's
Good.
done.
Good. Yeah. Get those rest.
Tonight's going to be a little bit of tape and a little bit of sleep. That's
A little bit of tape.
Got to review some of these trades from today for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Is that why don't you? Do we want to do this a little bit? I know we have Frank Caberna coming on. So often we talk about this because now that I'm doing the after show, I see you here late every single day.
Right.
So do you want to describe maybe what exactly you're doing?
Yeah, I'm kind of just reviewing my trades for the day, right? Like I've had like ideas in the morning, right? I'm coming in with ideas in the morning. I've come in with the sticky note plus more detailed notes, like in the notebook. So I'm seeing and assessing how I've executed on the plans that I've had, the ideas that I've had, what are the trades that I've missed, how did I take the trades that I took, what were some of like the emotions I was feeling while I was kind of taking these trades, what did I see, like.
You note down your emotions?
At times, yeah.
No,
I'm like, because this morning we saw that, what was it, the Walmart trade? Sorry, not the Walmart, the Microsoft trade.
Yes.
And I had the plan of taking that long off the hourly support, and I think that thing did like almost over 10 points off that level. Right. So I was very kind of, I started to feel like a little tilted off of that. So I've noted that down, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm already on a lack of sleep. I've missed a pretty decent trade. You know, I'm missing some other ones. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a walk from the desk and kind of like cool off and come back in the later session, just to try to avoid that tilt. Because in the past, like if you track these things and you're like, oh, I had this and this trade, and I had a bad trade after this one, and I'm like, oh, I wonder why. And then you start realizing it's like, oh, I got tilted because I missed this trade, and then I took it off on this ticker now, and I'm like, okay, well, if I can't be doing things like that where it's like I'm taking my, I guess I'm taking my frustration out on the markets pretty much, right? Or if it's like, if I feel fear, and it's like, what if I'm being sold the fear in terms of the price action, right? It's like, okay, what can I do with that feeling of emotion? Is there a way I can potentially capitalize that, flip the script on that emotion, and maybe, you know, get something out of it? That's part of like why I note down the emotion. But yeah, just tracking the trades. How long was I in them for? What time I took them? What was the trade idea? Things like that.
How long into your trading journey did you start to do that? Like, was that almost
seriously?
Yes.
After coming to the floor.
No, but I mean, like, so you were here, and then for how long were you here before you started doing it, or did you start doing it almost immediately?
I started doing it like pretty much almost like in the first week, because I knew I should, like back at home I was like, I knew I should have been keeping a journal, but now I'm like, okay, I'm in the setting. I did keep a journal, but not as detailed and not as like, you know, in detail. So. Good.
The reason why I just asked you that is because that's very quick maturity. Like a lot of traders will blow out their accounts, get super frustrated.
I mean, I've done that before.
Oh yeah.
Right? So I've gone through a couple squeezes. Right, and I'm like, now I recognize what GTFO tape looks like. Okay. So because of that.
I like that.
So
what does that mean? Just don't stay away, basically.
No. So again, like I said, if I see that tape, I'm not in a position. There was a time on the floor, I forget what it was.
But what does GTFO tape mean?
It's like squeeze tape.
Okay.
It's like squeeze tape. Like something's coming in or something's about to happen. There, like a lot, like the pace changes, the type of orders coming through changes, and maybe it's happening after a certain type of move or whatever, right? And it's like, or maybe it's a breaking news or whatever it is, right? So it's like, oh, that kind of tape. If you're on the wrong side, no matter what happens, you gotta get out. And I feel like it's almost been engraved into my mind because of the trauma from getting squeezed out. But yeah, no.
I mean, I just want to tell everybody, like, you know, this is I'm trying to find something to play for you. Unfortunately, like, we have a Max Lambo thing. We need to have an Obi something. I don't know what we're going to do for that, but I just want to say thank you so much, because the information that Obi just gave to you is super valuable, and hopefully will make all of us a little bit money. So I want to thank Obi for that. Obviously, we are a trading show, but I think that talking with, you know, relatively new traders like yourself, and getting into your, you know, psyche and why you're doing certain things is more valuable than watching me sit around and talk. So I think that that's very important there. Thank you so much, Obi, for that one. All right, so let's just get back to trading real quickly. I'm glad we did that for sure. So I just covered some at 85 here on Coinbase. It's 80 cents in the money. We celebrated that dollar trade coming through. But now, I mean, my next bid is at 84.60. So this 200 period moving average, we haven't seen that all day. So actually, that's a lie. We saw it right here at 84.30, but then ripped right off of it. So I'm not even going to wait for it to get down there. I want to take a fill right around here. 84.60 is where I'm bidding, but it doesn't look like it wants to come through. And if anything, it really wants to come through right here at the 50 period moving average. So that's something that we've looked at over and over again. The 50 period simple. We talked about that with Danielle Shea. We've talked about that with a lot of different traders that have come through. I started using it on the daily chart. We had the stock father before that I asked him about it. He's like, yes, sir. That's a well-used marker, and we had that confirmation from someone before on the show as well. I think it was Michael Noss. We talked about that with him. And so the 50 period moving average on the daily, and I was like, wait a second, I'm a mad scalper. Why not try to get this in on the scalping side of things? So I put it on the 1 minute, and now I just kind of use it as possible support and resistance. If we're scalping, the 200 period is more for like a complete trend change. So we'd like to take that out first before we really understand that maybe we can get back to VWAP. So that's just something that I'm looking at here as a trader. And unfortunately, I see people in the chat saying NVIDIA snooze. Like, we just took another fill down there at 106.03 here on AMD. Like, honestly, guys, like, I wish it would go more than 35 cents. And then here's NVIDIA right now. Like, what a beast this stock is, man. To go down to 450 and then just basically be heading back up here. Wow. Any more dips on this, just like any more dips on Tesla, I think it's proven pretty legit there. I don't know what the next shoe to drop for these guys would be in order for it to go downside right now, unless they warn out of the blue, possible more Chinese restrictions, I guess, coming in on something there. But we know that they just revenue 11 or 12.3, I think it was, or 12.4. They beat the 11 that they guided, and then they guided higher into 16 for next quarter. So it's like, if NVIDIA is just going to keep on doing that, then yeah, missing on those flushes is definitely going to be something that we're all going to look back at and be like, what? Because today it even started at 460 and went to 490. So it's $30 straight up to the upside right now, and here I am shorting AMD into this play. So we're going to have to wait. AMD does have in September a new AI chip coming out. Let's see if it can compete at all. That could be a good little move there for those guys as well. All right, so CRM reporting later on this week. That could be a big name coming through right now. Tomorrow night, thank you, Sharif. Yeah, later on this week. So tomorrow night, the 30th. Tonight, we don't have too many big names. We have HP coming out, and Box is out tonight. So we'll look at those on the after show as well. We have Chris Brecher coming from Simpler Trading. That should be really fun. He had some great ideas. He has some kind of pattern called the Stewie pattern.
Like Stewie Griffin?
I'm going to find out, baby. That's what we're doing on the after show. He said it's really popular with some of the people that he trades with. So we're going to be talking about that. Yeah, that's about it right now. There are lots of names moving around, obviously. An interesting one for me is Roblox. Roblox on a day like today, especially with, like, not that it has anything to do with crypto, but just this whole space really starting to go right now. it's trying to come off the bottom. I think Roblox might have bottomed, guys. We had a 26 bottom before, and we just represented that. So you get the cup, the handle right here, the cup. So blow this level out right here of 30, and then you get 31, and then it's the upside from there. Obviously, you normally want the other way around, sort of on a cup and handle, to sort of base out and then go. But I don't mind like a reverse one here. If we could take this level out, then we get back up to the upside. So we'll wait to see what's happening here with Roblox off of a beautiful base down there at $26. I like that name, and I really feel that it got beat up there on earnings. They're also not going to be releasing daily active users anymore as well. So that's going to be a good one. But things are starting to move in. Yeah, there you go. My break even in Roblox is in the 90s. Okay, that's not great for you, Scott. But hey, maybe it gets back up there at some point. All right, this is one of my favorite times because we get to talk a little bit more macro, either fixed income, Jackson Hole, whatever you guys want. It's Sharif at the big desk with Mr. Frank Caberna.
It's time. Frank Caberna, Director of Strategies at IGUS. Frank, thanks for coming on and good to see you again. Guess we're going to talk a little bit about rates, inflation, jobs, and its effect on equities. Why don't you take us through it?
Yeah, it's been a really active morning here coming off of a mid-tier number, but one that bodes, I don't know, it'll be interesting for stocks the rest of the week, giving a little bit of tell for PCE and non-farm to come. But this morning we had a U.S. job openings number, Sharif, and came out of nowhere, surprising to the downside here, as job openings are the lowest since March of 2021. And this was the number that hit at 9 o'clock. I know that NASDAQ and everything started rallying right off of the US Open, but this is when you really saw that lift in stocks and you really saw a crash in interest rates down more than 10 basis points at one point from the 2-year all the way to the 10-year off of this number. And you might be saying to yourselves, well, Frank, how is a soft job openings number going to be good for our stock market and everything else, bringing NASDAQ up to 2% here today? Well, this is exactly the kind of number that the Fed is looking for in terms of slowing economy, slowing inflation, and getting that inflation target down to 2%. And not only did we see the price action across stocks and rates this morning off of this number, Sharif, as you can see here, interest rates in red, looking at the 2-year, come right off of that 5% number. They're right back at those highs. And then you see today getting slammed lower, and then coinciding there in black, you have the S&P 500 ETF climbing back towards its highs. Now, this job openings number that's usually a mid-tier number does kind of lend itself to what is to come with PCE on Thursday and non-farm on Friday, as the market is pricing in potentially lower expectations for those on Tuesday ahead of the numbers themselves on Thursday and Friday.
Interesting look there. Yeah, we've been seeing a divergence, Frank, between the 10 and the 2-year as of late. The 10-year taking it on the chin today as a result of the U.S. JOLTS coming in below expectations today. So what does that have to do with the FOMC and what they're going to do in September?
Yeah, as we look at the upcoming calendar, not only this week, but also the September FOMC, you can see where expectations are and how they've been moving since this morning. We'll take a look at in a second. But just looking at the schedule here, we have the PCE number on Thursday. At Jackson Hole just this last week, Fed Chair Powell says, again, reiterating that PCE is their go-to number. And what you're seeing today across stocks, interest rates, and everything else, like you say, interest rates taking it on the chin here today, stocks bouncing back, is the market pricing in that this PCE might come in lower than expected. It's expected at 4.2%. The last PCE came in lower than expected at 4.1%. And now the market, like I say, pricing in this lower expectation. And you can see here, historical PCEs where they've been. It's been a downtrend. And Fed Chair Powell wants this market down to the 2% target. And so if we have a lighter than expected job openings like we saw this morning, and then a lighter PCE than expected, maybe at 4% even, or even in the 3 handle, then you start seeing the expectation from Fed Chair Powell and interest rates being lower than where we've thought as of the last couple of weeks here. You've seen interest rates climb back to the highs. Stocks see a little bit of bearish action. If all goes according to today's expectations, which, like I say, lower inflation on Thursday, lower potential non-farm on Friday, then you might see the Fed stop their interest rate hikes right where we're at, as the expectations for future hikes continue to get priced out as well, Sharif.
Here, Frank, because up until I believe this morning, there was about almost a 50% chance that we were looking at another 25 bips either in November or December. I haven't had a chance to look at the latest odds at the moment. I'm willing to bet that's changed a little bit. But Frank, we get GDP tomorrow. Does that factor into the equation at all?
GDP is, of course, an important number. If that number comes in screaming higher, you might get a mixed bag effect, which is, higher GDP, that's functioning good economy. Stocks might take that well at first, but that might reverse today's sentiment, right? If we see a hotter GDP, then that might tip hands towards, maybe inflation will come in hotter and they do need more interest rate hikes. So that one could be a little bit of a mixed bag one way or the other, because obviously the reverse would be true if it comes in lower. But yeah, we'll really be looking for that Thursday morning PCE number to dictate where these odds are going to go and where stocks will move off of these odds. Because, yeah, you make a great point, Sharif, that the odds were very close to 50-50 of staying where we're at from the Fed versus one more interest rate hike as of this morning. And now, since this number has come out and since markets have started to price in lower expectations across the board for interest rates, the odds have been essentially cut in half. This is September's meeting odds there at 13.5%. Yesterday, they were almost at 25%. And to your point, as of yesterday, the odds for a rate hike either in November or December, close to 50-50. I haven't checked those either, but I have to imagine that those chances are now closer to 25-30%. As, like I say, people thinking that light job openings could bring in a lighter PCE and maybe the Fed doesn't have to hike another time.
Frank, lately the conversation has shifted somewhat from talk about the terminal rate more to about how long we stay elevated, whatever your definition of elevated is. How does today's job number and maybe even a better than expected PCE Thursday morning factor into that equation?
Yeah, you're spot on that now it's becoming a little bit less of how high are we going to go. Obviously, now we're fighting over 125 basis point hike. If you go back to the fall of last year, almost a year ago now, when stocks were making their lows, we saw 2 back-to-back 75 basis point hikes. So the market, whether it settles at 5.5%, 5.75%, or even 6, I don't think that'll freak out stocks too much, as much necessarily as, to your point, how long are we going to be 5%? Plus, the market has been pricing in lower than 5% by the end of 2024, but those odds have been creeping up. Now, what the Fed needs to see to bring interest rates back down under 5% is going to be numbers like PCE or core CPI that'll come out in a few weeks again here, closer to 2% and closer to 2% quickly. And so if we see a number on Thursday, Sharif, that is right at 4.2% or 4.1%, and it's just inching lower, inflation is, then they're going to have to keep interest rates higher for longer. But if we start to see substantial drops in inflation, we see last month's move from the high fours down to the low fours. And this month, they get into the 3 handle for core inflation. You'll see significant pricing out of high interest rates for longer, because the expectation might be then, well, man, if this is the rate that we're at in terms of inflation turning back towards where they want it to be at 2%, next month, maybe we get 3.5%. And after that, we get even closer and closer. The rate of interest rate subsiding is going to directly feed into how long interest rates are expected to be higher and how long stocks like the technology stocks that are major in our economy are going to have to deal with those high interest rates.
Frank, we alluded to it at the top of the interview here. The Fed always looking at labor inflation, employment inflation, for the gauging essentially how to proceed. How does housing, what's the term for it? Housing inflation, shelter inflation, Frank, factor in the Fed? Is that something that they watch as well?
Definitely a big part of that core inflation that they monitor there. Because, they've been looking less and less at energy prices and food prices because those have been so volatile over the course of the last year. Those rose high very quickly, but they fell hard very quickly as well. Housing will absolutely be looked at, as well as what directly feeds into that. Another job number on Friday, that non-farm and the wage growth that's a part of that number will also be looked at as well. There definitely are some tiers to the Fed's thinking here, and they continue to reiterate that PCE is their top tier, but right behind it, to your point, Sharif, is some of these, housing inflation numbers and wage inflation numbers that we can get from these other data points. And today's a great example of how quickly they can shift their focus from one thing to another. When was the last time that a JOLTS number moved the NASDAQ 2%? And moved interest rates 10 basis points, moved US dollar. This morning, US dollar was making new highs on the year against Japanese yen and has fallen more than 100 pips since this morning. So huge moves from these employment data points and soon to come inflation data points as well.
Yeah, it's always very interesting, the data points that are important at any moment in time, Frank. It changes, like you say, always. Frank, thank you very much. Insightful as always. Frank Caberna, Director of Strategy at IGUS. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much.
Take care.
Wow, Sharif, fantastic job there. I know that's a hard interview because there's so much in there, and great job. And you got to go back and forth with Frank. That's great. Thank you so much, Sharif. Big shout out to that guy for sure. Killing it on the ones and twos. Sharif, jack of all trades over there. But we'll wait to see. I'm with Frank, man. I cannot believe that number this morning ripped the market the way it did. Up now 2.05% on the NASDAQ. Absolutely crazy times here. We do have a couple trades obviously on board, but here's the target rate probabilities for the next meeting, which is coming in September. So September 20th, right here, Fabian. September 20th, 86.5% that we stay right where we are, with a 13.5% chance that we go a quarter. So there it is right now. It looks like it's going to be pretty steady here moving forward. We'll see what happens there. And then as you extend out in November, I guess it's still sort of unknown what's going to happen. I thought it was early. I don't know which. Yeah, so we're back down there. So back down to 5 to 5.25, 35% chance of that over in May, January. It's all data dependent. We have some big numbers coming out right now. But the September, 86.5%. I don't really recall what it was yesterday after that number, as Frank was mentioning that with Sharif. So thank you so much for all of that. Here we go. So AMD, again, just been dip buying into this. I don't know about these trades anymore. The one trade that I want to look at here, we almost broke the 50 period. We've ridden this all the way. We got a little bit of a break there, which did cause a flush. We can chart some of those for you right now as well. But look at this name. I want to... Oh shoot, I just closed my order log. I got to get that open ASAP to see my orders. But I wanted to look at Microsoft right now. Obi, just take this over for a second. I got to get my order log back.
Yeah, no worries. So I hadn't really taken a trade since the morning, because like this is around the time that we left you, right? Like around 11 p.m. and the market's just been kind of teetering in and around underneath this 15.4. Same with the ES, that 45 we talked about. So hasn't really moved any in terms of like any significance, but I am getting a little chopped up here on Google on what looks like to be a potential bounce here. It kind of we had that crazy strength in the morning. We took a little clip off of that, and then it kind of hits that 136.50 and starts to kind of fade off. But here you can see the trend is kind of broken and starting to bend. And let's see if we kind of get that trend reversal, or we kind of push back to the downside. Now, I'll be definitely watching this 15.4 and the 45 on the futes to kind of give a little bit of direction there. But yeah, I don't think I should be really diddling right here in the middle until these levels kind of convincingly kind of move. But I do like that we've kind of based off of this 3350-ish area, 3380, I guess. It was like 3360 in the morning, kind of that same level in the morning that we kind of slowed down and started going sideways off of, right? And yeah, look at that. I get stopped out on that flush. Yeah, did something happen? Because that was some selling that came in, and kind of I've taken this trade twice. I tried to get long on top of this 134.30s, and stopped out again. So I guess the selling is definitely there.
We just broke, that's
and did we break back below?
Yeah, I think we broke back below that 15.4 right there.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of a quadunk there, and this is the problem when you have stop orders set up. Here goes AMD. Hopefully this can come back into the downside right now. We got a couple fills when that just happened right there. Down to 106 again, and then resisted, and now it's just going back up again right now. So, all right, I just want to talk about that other trade idea that I had that we just got filled on. You could probably see a new position there on the board right now. It's always loud when we had an interview, but that's wake up for everybody right there. We just took a small trade. We didn't necessarily, we got basically short right here, 292. 326.98. I was looking at a Microsoft breakdown. Now again, Microsoft only up 1% here. This is a trade that we can get out of, which is why I kind of like it. If we're wrong, we have this 200 period right here of 327.80. I really want to try to respect that if this trade does not work. And then I was also going to average in a little bit somewhere. I was going to give it to 328, so I was actually going to average in around here, 327.80. I would have rather had this move happen as we started to sort of leg down. We just got a quick spike down. Like Microsoft went all the way to 88s there, but it was chilling in the 30s, and then we got this. I never like getting fills like that because, again, just too quick on that. I'm going to find out if there's anything hit. We just had a little bit of a move down there, Sharif, so I don't know if anything hit the market there, but I don't really see anything. Dan Ives calls slump Super Bowl rally, calls slump halftime Super Bowl rally. I don't know. We'll have to find out more about that. That was a little bit ago, so probably nothing. But let's just wait to see if we can get a move down here in this market. So we have our outs. I feel like there's risk here to longs just because of where we are. On the NASDAQ, again, up 2%. We've been more than that. I just actually yesterday on the after show, and I think we talked about it here, the S&P hadn't had a 2% move in 6 months, and that was the first time since 2018 that had happened. So we'll check the S&P in a minute to see where we are right now, but the NASDAQ is having that 2% move again. We've seen that over and over again, but these are those highs that we just made. Right, so we talked about this going back to the 24th, which is, of course, last week when we had Jackson Hole. And then there's the move right back down in. So now we're going to wait to see on that one right there, 15.4 or so coming through. Again, that high was 15.420. Today's high is 15.412 or so. So you're right back into this area. Let's just see. Not that we think this is happening anytime today, but you could pull back. You could pull back. You are at some key levels right now. So, you know, if you're long, obviously you've been in charge all day. I don't know if you want to take trades off or what you're looking to do, but right now the market is coming in a little bit here, I hope anyways. And what we're looking to do is break that 50 period. We just tried it. And this is what I mean about like just random lines, right? We put the 50 period on here. It touches it, then just bounces right back up. So a clean break of this, and I think we'll be in a little different situation. So if we do break, we got to get something out for sure. If we come down to 15,360 or so, right into here. So let's check out that. It could be about a 30 to 40 handle move on the downside if we do wind up breaking, and that's an if at this point, because it seems like it wants to hold out. Like, here goes AMD again. Let's put some out around that 11 spot. What are you working with over there?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that dip back into the 30s, gets rebid right back up, reclaim of that 15.4. So I guess I got a little long again right there on the 40. But yeah, seeing as this trade has stopped me out twice, and this will be the third time taking this trade. Let's see if the third time is the charm here on the Google as the strength kind of comes back in, man. Look at that. I get wicked out twice, stopped out twice, and then on the third time you get that real kind of bidding back up on that failure to follow through of those key levels. That's pretty interesting. But you know what? I will admit I was a little chasey on some of these entries, so maybe I do deserve that kind of clipping on that. I should be sitting at the lower end of that range there to I guess execute effectively on this move back up, right? We are consolidating, so yeah, let's see, about 10 pennies now, but if those sellers come back in, I kind of want to stay wary, right? So we'll see. Teetering around these levels, Sean, like it's until we kind of convincingly make a move above or below, like I think we're gonna stay doing that. So I think I just wanna stay quick on my feet as best as I can. So I'll just get out right there. If the move continues, I'm more than willing to kind of take this break of this consolidation right here in the 60s as well, right? So let's see if that kind of comes in. I do not like that whenever we kind of look like we're pushing towards the highs, we kind of come back in and slam wick down to the lows right there. So I think that's kind of expected as we diddle, as the market kind of stays a little indecisive here around key levels, right? Apple doesn't really care about anything.
I was going to say, the market doesn't seem that indecisive to me, man. It just wants to go up. Like,
Yeah,
it just
Apple
keeps
just
on
wants to go up.
bouncing off these levels, making moves to the upside again. Boom, boom, boom,
Apple
boom,
200.
boom. I hear Sharif pounding the table, but like, I mean, everybody, I know he's just into Apple right now, and that's great, but like, Apple's been a monster for a very, very long time. So congrats to Sharif, man. Everything's pointing his way right now with a great Lee Auto call. And obviously buying these dips in these markets has been absolutely fantastic. We talked about the 3M news yesterday with the lawsuit finally settling down a little bit. And off of what was a pretty disastrous move to the downside as they get it all cleared. They get the okay, I think it was $5.65 billion or something for the hearing. They, faulty earplugs. Obviously, it's a pretty serious story. It's nothing to laugh at, which is why it took a while to get settled. And I believe there's even more lawsuits to come, but that was the main one for 3M, so it's a nice move up. But I just don't want to talk about this right now because we want to talk about everything, but there goes the market again. So this is the thing. We just got a rejection again. So it wouldn't surprise me if we come up and test the tops again here. So just be ready to get stopped out. Like we don't have, this is why we just keep on getting out of these trades. Like AMD is not giving us this bottom. I know this looks ridiculous and it's just whatever, but it's like just keep on getting out here and hopefully we can get some movement to the downside again. We are short Microsoft off that play. And then Coinbase has kind of just been hovering. Again, a much different name here for me on Coinbase. As we trade less shares on Coinbase just because of the movement that we could have on this name. So that's why we're very, very specific. Got some out at 85, shorting here, and what were we short at 85.80? So those were good trades there, taking about 60 to 70 cents on those plays. But yeah, so far that's what we have on board right now. Looking for some more. NIO is looking to go green right now today. So congratulations on this battery swapping EV name as it just continues to go back up to the upside, almost getting back to yesterday, which is pretty incredible. You could be disappointed if you logged in right now and saw NIO and you're like, okay, the NASDAQ's up 2.07%, Tesla's up 7%, Li Auto's up more than that, 7 or 8%. Same with XPeng, right? And you're like, oh no, NEO's down 2%, but you were down 12 at one point here today. So what a great move back up for NIO. Again, like everything to me is starting to look like shorts up into these levels, because all you've done is make these moves. And again, on an earnings name, maybe a little bit different, you know, to look at technicals like this, because if momentum wants to go, it's just going to go. But you're just coming back into levels that were sort of protected yesterday on the sell side. So we've already took that level out right there at 70. So if you want to just raise it up again, maybe you're shorting this into the 80s and then giving it to 11. But this name really working right now, that's for sure. Alibaba's another one. We saw Pinduoduo today. Alibaba's been bought up every single time it's got into the 90s. You'll be able to see that here on the daily chart. Sure, we've dipped down into the 87s, 88s, but here it is right here. Nice little move, breaking through and now starting to go higher as they cut 50% on that trading tax yesterday. So I don't know what that we talked about this yesterday. I don't know what that does for the economy, but it definitely gets trading going again. And when your state-sponsored trading algos kick in, like they do on these Chinese names, it's always good to pay half the tax.
Yeah, it's. I think yeah, we're gonna see like that effect. Kind of, I think, digest itself. That news digest itself and see the effect of that news over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, definitely things are moving in the ADR space off of that news for sure, and it'll be interesting to see in the up and coming days as well. But yeah, I got my eyes on Tesla. I got my eyes on Apple here as well. Tesla's pushing for the high of day. So is Apple. Apple keeps making high of days, and Nvidia as well. So the top, some of the top names in the market kind of pushing for their highs. I got Amazon here as well. Amazon. 134.99 high a day, just underneath that 135 resistance that we were talking about last week. So yeah, let's see if we can convincingly get past that high 135 on Amazon as well. I'm looking at this 134.50, 134.60s consolidation on the Google. If we can have a convincing bounce, again, look, the market looks like it wants to push off this 15.4, but we keep on chopping. We keep on chopping. The past 3 15-minute candles have just been a chop in and around some of these levels, give or take. I think it was about, what, 10 points? 10 points to 15 points. So, okay, yeah, give or take 15 points in and around this 15,400 level. We just keep chopping around for the past 45 minutes. So, yeah, it makes sense why I'm getting chopped up on this trade, because, yeah, this is definitely a little competitive as I am fighting algos, it feels like, at the pace at which this move keeps on flushing to the downside and then ripping to the upside as the market just consolidates and does nothing, goes sideways, right? Maybe I should find a strong name and get long in a trending market. And I got my eyes on Nvidia, I got my eyes on Apple, I got my eyes on Tesla as well, and maybe a little bit of Amazon, as Amazon kind of holding that morning trend. Yeah, sure, we rejected off that 135, but take a look at this. Overall, we've made higher lows on the day, and that 134, remember we took some trades off that 134, that 134 never broke, and look at that. Yeah, I might have missed a chance to reload on that 134 as the wick low goes down to 134.02 and rips right back up, pushing 134.80s now as we speak. So yeah, things are starting to, I guess, trend up across the board in terms of just those names. But Microsoft not looking similar. Microsoft a little bit of a downtrend off of its highs as well, right? So let's take a look at that. So Microsoft, if we can load, yeah. So there you go, consecutively lower highs. After that morning push towards that 330 area. So 329 comes in, clips it, and then you kind of have this nice trending churn back down towards these lows. Maybe that 325 might be coming into play as well, where we consolidated on that initial run up. So those are kind of the levels I have here. We got that little gap there from that volatility we experienced earlier. But yeah, look at that. Looks like we're doing a bit of a turn. Maybe this Google long will finally come into play. Third time's a charm, fourth time's a charm, maybe the fifth. I have no idea.
Yeah, fifth seems to be a lot. Now you seem to be like a degenerate
I like
myself,
the number 5.
right now. So I'm about to get stopped out of Microsoft. And the thing is, I'm not going to give this a 328. I mean, that's probably going to wind up being a mistake. Well, we could give it, you know what? Actually, scrap that. Let's give it a little bit more. Because I mentioned this 200 period, but I didn't want to give it all the way up here. I was looking at this name and was like, we just keep bouncing off the 50 period moving average. So we take a fill into that. And now I just want to see if we do wind up taking out, well, at this point, we might as well give it to that level. But let's just get out just in case. We'll get out of 75% of this or so. If we do take down here, I can just show you guys the exact price that we're going to put in here. 327.76. We always give it that. We'll get out of 75% of this trade. If it doesn't work right there, we'll push enter. Make sure that goes. So we're going to watch out for that trade. Again, a little bit impatient. I just really felt like we could have held that 50 period moving average, but then we took it out. Obviously, we bumped it up. You know, the trading god's not with me here on this trade, it doesn't look like, is because it got me in right there on that break, which, again, that's why it was not that many shares right there. But now we're into a position where I don't mind managing it. It's just we're starting to go back up, and we talked about hitting that 200 period as well. Coinbase is starting to go down. So I feel like although this market's making moves up right now, Coinbase is making move down. So, and not really, it's just that's the only one that's actually working out for my net right now. So we'll see if we can get a piece out here on Coinbase and see if we can get a fill right in there. So you might have just saw we just got a 19 right there out. So we take a 19 fill, close the gap, get filled on the dark or whatever it was, and then we'll wait to see what happens now on Coinbase, because that was one that was actually coming down there as this market is breaking new highs. So looks like this Microsoft will get squashed. I liked the opportunity there on Microsoft. If this market went down, you know, you got to sort of put your neck out there a little bit and take some shots. Obviously, the long looks like that was right, but you know, if you guys hit the long, that's great. Like we said, there it is. So now my guy's in the long right there. I just want to say what's up to Vendetta here, because this is the funny part. NASDAQ up 2.1% on hawkish Powell and very bad JOLTS number and consumer confidence. Yeah, well, I mean, with a smiley face there and a funny face, sometimes the market does opposite of what you may think. So it always makes you look dumber than hopefully we all are, right? So that's what the market is doing right now. You don't fight the market. It's like the more you try to think about what it is, I feel like when some of these numbers come through, you really want to look at what the difference is between day trading, like what we're doing, and then possibly saying, okay, the all clear is now for possible swing trades or something like that, because intraday you get this back and forth, and today it's just straight to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we pull back a little bit, but right now, the last time we saw the NASDAQ up 2+%, man, it just kept going into the afternoon, especially that we resisted that break of 15.4 on the just on the daily. I mean, on any chart right there, NASDAQ 15.4 does not hit, right? It comes in, tried to break it, holding, now you're starting to go higher. And we already talked about where we are on a bigger time frame, and this is what I mean. Here's this move all the way back up. So right now we're getting a lot of excitement as an intraday trade, like right now. But if this doesn't hold and we don't open up above this tomorrow, then you know these areas could come into play one more time, and you could see a little bit of a move down into this area for sure. 15.2 again, which is 200 points lower. You know, what time is it? 3:16. What's up to Stone Cold? I just don't think that we're going to get that move there today. So unfortunately, it looks like we may be trapped right now, but that's okay. We have our outs. AMD still, we just got another fill there in the 20s. Hopefully this can continue to push down. Like I said, small wins are still wins, right, Obi?
Oh yeah, small wins definitely wins. That's something I have to learn as well. Kind of sometimes I find myself I guess looking for the home run,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And I'm
Same.
like that really I have to make that assessment. I guess early on in the day is as to like, is it a day for those home runs, or is it a day where it might be a little bit of a chop? And we talked about that yesterday, right? Yesterday I was like very high probability
Here goes
chop,
Coinbase.
range formation, kind of Sean saying there goes Coinbase. But yeah, the range formation, and then we break out of that range today. Today was definitely a day to kind of get long pretty aggressively out the open of that break, right? But yeah, here, in and around here, small wins when the market's kind of chopping and I'm looking to take quick scalps until we kind of make a decisive move. There we go. There's a little bit of a push there. Let's see how far we can get. Got the NQ here at 15.415. So yeah, let's see if we kind of break this consolidation on Google as well and kind of retrace back into this 135. I like that 135. Pretty interesting. We got this kind of a bounce low. What's that?
It's a great look on that break.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, maybe I should have executed a little bit better here. Like, if I'm expecting the break, maybe I shouldn't be chasing all of these pops. If I see and observe that it's consolidating, I should kind of set myself up to get in on those wicks into the bottom of that consolidation. Maybe even some lick grabs, right? You know, they talk about, like, you know, where you put your stop. Think about putting your entry there. I think this is one of those scenarios where you can kind of sidestep the fugazi by executing on that principle there. Because you know that a lot of these consolidations, when they get real choppy, yeah, there are going to be lick grabs on both sides. So if you're looking to enter one way or another, I think the RR definitely sets up real nice if you're placing yourself somewhere around those areas. So I don't know. Let's see if this long works out. This 15.4 holding for now is what I'm seeing, but this consolidation taking a little bit longer than I'd like to break. But you know what? I am being a little impatient today. The 15-minute looks fine on Google, and Apple is hella strong. So we got the market on our side, I guess.
Apple's a monster, that is for sure. So we did get stopped out of some of our softy there at 75, as you just mentioned there, that you know, you want to be able to maybe put your orders at levels where maybe you would have stopped yourself out.
Yeah.
So right there.
That's definitely going in the journal tonight.
Good.
I'm like, that consolidation piece, I got to go. Yeah, that's not good execution.
So I don't know if there's something going on with Coinbase, but we're going to go over to Sharif because we just touched 84.60, putting us $1.20 in the money. What's up, Sharif?
It's not Coinbase related, but it is crypto related, Sean. Here it is. Robinhood no longer doing business with TradeFi, giant jump trading. This was the behemoth, the market making behemoth that powered Robinhood's zero fee cryptocurrency business. CoinDesk reporting a bit of a double top here on Hood.
All right, yeah, a little bit of an interesting name there coming into play. It's funny because like when we look at crypto, I don't even really look at any other name other than Coinbase. Like I don't even really look at Robinhood. Obviously a mistake there as it's moving around with this. Let's just have a quick look. I just put a bid a little bit lower than this on, I actually just put a bid at the bottom of that Coinbase move. So hopefully it can come in and we'll get a fill there. Yeah, Robinhood pulling back a little bit. Wow, Robinhood's back up to $11. Hey, okay. Yeah, that's good. They've had a couple good days in a row now today. And obviously when the NASDAQ is going, you're gonna see Robinhood a little bit. Wow, 13, 14, down to 10, now back up. Okay, so this has been exciting. I really want to talk to development here because I feel like we could have earnings markers in here as well, which would be really, really cool. So we could see, you know, what's up with some of these bump ups and down here for Robinhood. But I heard on the compound that they were talking a little bit that they liked, not that they liked, but they had a guest on there that was talking a little bit about Robinhood and just saying that a lot of Robinhood's customers, of course, are of the younger generation. And if they do wind up sticking with Robinhood, then at some point, Robinhood, if they keep offering different products for, here would be RRSPs, but they're not, I don't think they're even in Canada, but IRAs and stuff like that. So where they're able to make some real money, if they can get people in the ecosystem,
yeah,
then it's kind of like, I'm not going to give away who I go with, but it doesn't really matter, but it's just like, I don't change, like I've never changed my broker once I signed up with one when I was 18 or whatever it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm still with the same one, right? So obviously
that's a long-term account.
That's like, yeah, I'm 2 years away from retiring, right? So, and then Obi, I just hand the keys over to you. You ready? Or should I give the keys to this guy? Because I know what's going to happen if that happens. Mac's going to be riding around in those freaking $30 million Rolls Royces. I tweeted that out this morning. Can you believe that? There's actually a $30 million car.
I believe it.
No, I know. I remember we talked about it. They're now made 4 of them. Wow. Yeah. If you could sell one for $30 million, why not throw down 4 for $1.20?
Yeah. That's what car is that? Do you
the Rolls. I'll find it. I tweeted
Rolls.
it out earlier today, and it's just an absolutely insane car. It's the all-electric car, and I was like, yeah, we talked about it earlier on our show, and I was just like, what? I didn't even. Sharif brought it up, and I was like, nah. Just like that $12,000 coffee machine, I'm like, nah, bypass on that. But here it is right here. So I tweeted this out earlier. New Rolls-Royce has revealed a second limited production drop tail called Amethyst. It costs a paltry $30 million, and only 4 will be built. So this is it right here. So it's, yeah, I mean, does it even look that sick, really? I mean, obviously it's pretty nice. But there it is right here.
Yeah, that's nice.
So, you know, some AI generated stuff happening right here. So, yeah, it does look really nice, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But look, wood grain back here?
Yeah.
What's up with that? I mean, I don't know. If I had $30 million, there's no way in hell I'd buy a car. But
yeah, no.
I mean, if you're even looking at that, then the $30 million isn't an issue, right?
Exactly. That's it's for a different clientele, I guess. Like, you know, if
you mean it's not for me?
No, if 30 mil is just pocket change to you and you're spending that on a vehicle, then yeah, you got to understand the audience you're selling to there.
I was impressed with Lucid. We could look at Lucid, actually. Lucid was a nice little bottom. I was impressed with the Lucid car that was going 1, 2, 3, 4 horsepower. They're 1,200 horsepower.
Yeah, that one is
1234. Like, how funny is that? That's actually 1234.
It kind of makes sense. Lucid has like they come from electric racing, right? I think I don't know what they're called, what the Grand Prix or whatever is called, but they before they made production vehicles, they actually had racing vehicles in electric car races, like the actual GPs or whatever it's called. I don't know what it is. So they have that lineage, and now they're bringing that technology into the product, and they're like, okay, now we're going to move into luxury. We want to be the only one kind of pushing that in the EV field, and yeah, I think they're doing a decent job. Sure, the ticket price is there. I think it's a cool 200 for one of their
that model was 250, but
yeah. So yeah, it's in and around the luxury car range, I guess. Some of these supercars are around that price tag as well, right?
Hey,
looking
man,
at like 2 to 5.
Pay to play.
Yeah.
These guys built out a Tesla. Well, let's look at Tesla, what's they're doing right now. Sharif built out a Tesla, and the full self-driving unit was 99,000 taxes in here. Model 3, 99,000 taxes in here in Canada. Model 3, that's the cheap one, of course. 250 cheap one. 257 right now. Wow. We actually. It's just so stupid. It's play the momentum. Like when we started the show here, before we went to Frank, we were down in here, and then we were just like, you know what? If you take 255, you might as well just hit it. Now you're $2 in the money. So congratulations, anybody that hit that, as that was a winning trade for you today for sure. We're just being stubborn, man, and just trying to hold some of these shorts. We've done well on holding them to this point, but it is to that point right now where you're up 2.2% and just looking to go higher right now. And you hit Google, which was a great trade as that's starting to go to the upside. We're almost squashed out at 328 here on our softy trade. You can see that at the bottom. That'll be a 50-cent hit. And then Coinbase, I was like, uh-oh, here goes Coinbase, but then I didn't have any bids down here. So we should have had one. It did touch 84.70. I'm now bidding down here at 84.70. I got to up that a little bit and see if we can get something down here. So here comes Coinbase pulling back on that story there. You know, again, very strong name today on the GBTC news. More ETFs coming your way. So we'll wait to see what happens there. And then my GBTC trading, shout out to Jeffrey Mendel and everybody at the OTC market. We were just in and out of this a lot. Here today. We actually just scalped a little bit short right now just too as well. Back in and out there when we had Frank on. That's a little bit, yeah, that's right when Frank came on, that was before. But we're just looking at the tops right now for the grayscale Bitcoin, which is now up 18% and giving this big middle finger to the shorts right there and to the SEC. So nice move there, coming back into July highs for grayscale. Remember, Bitcoin is only up today 7 and a bit percent. So the grayscale is obviously up 2x that. So, you know, there might be some hedging happening as a possibility for that account as well.
Yeah, this 135 looking a little bit heavy here for now, right? So I just want to get out of this position, and then if we can get back above that 135, because this consolidation break was pretty nice. We got a decent break, right? I was a little late to the party. I punched along over here on the consolidation breakout, But the idea, definitely, your RR, I think, is much better in and around here. And yeah, sure, if you can structure into the momentum there, you can add on to that position using that as well. So I think that was pretty decent. 134 held, and I was talking to Sean as well. There was some couple of decent size that kind of went through here, 134.35. And then it was holding above that size, and I was like, okay, well, we got a little bit of a bounce here. We've kind of established a little bit of a bottom above previous morning levels, right? We got that pop in the morning above that 133, and then we took off all the way to 136, and then you come back, fade into 133.8s, 134. Can't really get back down into that 133.50 area, and then you start to consolidate, go sideways, and get long. And while Apple, while Nvidia, while some of these other names are pushing towards their highs, right? And then also the hold of that 15.4. So I liked that look, the execution. Like I said before, definitely going to be writing about this in the journal tonight. How we could have taken this much better in a bit of a chasey mood there, buying into strength. Like, why am I doing that? I know I'm not playing the breakout. I know it's a diddle, so why am I buying the strength? That type of strategies for playing the breakout, but buying the drops, maybe even the wick bottoms, is more ideal if you can kind of clip those. Here comes a 135 as we speak. Let's see if we can kind of push past this level here on this strength. 135, Sean, as SPY pushes into 440. Dude, we took this long, 43.50, and I sold at triple fours, 50 cents, and we're at 449s. The trend was my friend, but I guess I didn't want to hold hands today.
This is why this is the best job ever, because like you come in and it's just like, okay, casino open, where are we going on this one today? And I mean, today it was straight up to the upside. I cannot believe we took 350 on Google today. I mean, that was a crazy trade as well on Google this morning. Good trade by you just now. I want to say a shout out to Displaying Ways. He says, at Sean, I'm tuned in from the gym. You guys are on fire. Put this on so I can show his name here. Displaying Ways. So he's at the gym, so hopefully you're working out. If you need any tips there, we'll throw. Chest day, says Sharif. He's tuned in from the gym. You guys are on fire with Obi. So Obi and Sean on fire today. So we'll go props up. Thank you so much for all that kind talk. And of course, Sharif filling in for Brendo. Hopefully both Brendo and Neil are back today or tomorrow. So that should be good. We're, fingers crossed that everyone's feeling better into tomorrow. I sure hope so as well. Give you a little bit of a break, but you've been doing absolutely fantastic. And then you got to go in the midday anyways. So sorry about that.
I'm fine. I'm just trading, man.
Yeah, exactly. You're just trading. He's just chilling. Obi is just straight chilling. I know the back and forth, and the thing is about this job, I know a lot of you are like, the reason why we created this show is also because trading is not the most exciting spot. That's why there's a lot of people with Discords, trading rooms and things like that where they charge you an arm and a leg, and that's fine too. If you're part of those, that's great. But it's about finding your place, talking about this, having a good time talking about it, because trading down there in the dungeon or wherever you may be trading, I've been lucky enough to be on a prop floor for 22 years, so I've always been surrounded by all of this. So for me, it's kind of second nature, but I know that with yourself and even with Max and some of the traders that were trading at home, it's a nice environment. You get like your managers there, like Brankles, that'll handle some risk management for you and help you out whenever you do need it, as well as group think and things like that. I know these guys are every day having these meetings and going over, like you said, tape, and then just learning different things. Like you may have never learned to read the tape the way you do sitting at home.
It's changed drastically.
Yeah, because again, ideas are fired off different people, right? So a shout out to Day Trade the World and all of that. And on that note, Mr. Fabian, we're going to talk about Day Trade the World Campus right now. So let's do that real quick, because guess what, man? Time is of the essence right now. September 5th is your absolute last chance to join everybody here at Day Trade the World. Do it on remote. It's campus. It's for everybody here in Canada. But if you're not in Canada, please apply anyways. Let them know what country you're in. Unfortunately, note, United States citizens, unable. But that's, I don't want to say it's never going to change. Hopefully it does very, very soon. But at the same time, it's a very, very phased out program where you start, you go early on the markets, you get a nice little self-guided.
That's nice.
Okay, it's flushing down here. Woo woo.
I
Who cares?
apologize. I didn't mean
No,
to
that's
cut
okay. I
you
mean,
off.
I hope the market continues to go down. Trading goals on TMS, and then you get to go live. So this is a great program that we're just starting now. Trade real money, gain real experience. That's what we're doing. We're on a prop floor right now. It feels like the market wants to maybe plop out right now. That would be nice. But join us here at Day Trade the World campus. And again, it's a very small commitment per day. I think it's a great opportunity. I hope you guys do as well. And there it is right there. Let's go, man. Let's spin it for finally. We actually took 2 fills there on Coinbase as we're getting lower and lower here on the name and then closer to the market close. OB myself cannot have a position past 4 o'clock. As again, we're on a prop floor and we only manage risk intraday. So we were right there getting out here as we take the 200 period on Coinbase. So as ridiculous as some of my trades look today, some of them actually are working out. So there you go. And the one trade that we really liked early on, obviously, was this Google trade that we wind up taking out right there, but we only had the last 10% on, which is still fine, upside. And we got most of these out up here, 33. Again, you want to talk about you getting out too early. We took 132 there, some nice reloads, and getting them all out like 133, 10s, 20s, things like that. So not a good out for me on that one. But at the time, you know, Google was bouncing up against some of these levels right here. Now it looks ridiculous because we broke out. I would have loved to have that crystal ball telling us that we were up this high. But again, some good trading here into the close. We just got a nice little bump down. So again, we didn't get any fills on AMD. Why? Because we were a little lower than this. So let's not get too greedy. As we start to get out of some of our positions, we'll take a 21 there and we'll put some more fills into the teens. Hopefully AMD can make that fall down here into the close.
NVIDIA broke trend.
Did we get that number there on the imbalance? There was one at 330. Yeah, no problem. It'll be on Financial Juice. So Sharif's going to look for us, and we'll just see what that move is. But now we're $1 in the money finally on Coinbase. But again, just 20% left.
Yeah, nice look there. That market's kind of pulling off there. Got that heavy selling into that one. Excuse me. Into that 135. 8 million to sell, says Sharif.
Almost
so that
sounds like a
135
mistake.
resistance. So, you know, yeah, that's pretty small. Like what, 8 million to sell? You mean 8 billion to sell? Maybe, I don't know.
I would like to see that with a B behind it, of
Yeah,
course,
but that
being
135 kind of flushing back in. The 135 tested and we pulled back about a quarter off of that level. Now, the first thing I looked at was like, yeah, I think it might be because of those imbalances, but NVIDIA is curling a little bit. NVIDIA just kind of broke its trend. Let's take a look at that real quick. Microsoft still right there. So the first thing I did was look at those names that were pretty much kind of, I guess, in my opinion, pulling the market to the upside. The strongest names we pointed out, Apple, NVIDIA, and I think Tesla was the other one.
Yes, Tesla's
so
a monster.
yeah, let's take a look at Tesla. So we're finally getting a little bit of a pullback there. That is a little different from what we've had all day, pretty much. But yeah, look at Tesla. Tesla still does not really care about that move. So I think there might be something else going on here, definitely. So not as much of a pullback on Tesla, but Apple's not really. Apple's still within range, still tightly within range. Yeah, sure, we got a little bit of a sell-off off of these tops here, just underneath 185, but nothing distinct. Take a look at this consolidation range. We're just well within that range. Chop, chop, chop. Slow grind to the upside. Yeah, today was definitely a day when trend was your friend. And maybe we should just look to get long in the last 30 minutes, because if this trend does not break, we could just continue just to melt up, each one of these little pops being kind of short traps. You know, we look like we were heavy 15.4 all day from like 10:45. So about an hour after the open, right about an hour 15 after the open, we just consolidated in a 50-point range, even less than that on the NQ. And then now we're kind of pushing back above that range, but not really going anywhere too fast. So let's see if these levels kind of come back in and we flush, or we hold and we continue to pop back up, because this consolidation was an all-day consolidation. And then you have this fugazi pop and drop, kind of chop for these 45 minutes, right? And then we finally break above. So maybe I do want to look to get long. The Google consolidation also, that consolidation break is confluencing with that long idea. We got that break not too long ago, and that break was pretty strong coming into that 135. And sure, can you expect some resistance at 135? Well, it was there before, kind of as a support. So intraday support turned to resistance as well for now. But yeah, I'll just be observing what is the next trade. We only have about 13 minutes left, actually 23 minutes, sorry.
But 13 till the imbalances.
13 till the imbalances.
More important than the close.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, the close is just random there. Those imbalances will give you those closing trades. Oh yeah, by the way, right now, so I was just showing this to see what some of these imbalances are. These are all the New York names, but I just did want to go with it. I mean, because I can't catch flack when, you know, AMD is going up and everyone's like, oh, look at this guy holding shares against the market trend. And what is this guy doing? Look, I'm here to, I flush myself down the toilet probably more. Well, probably celebrate a little bit more than we do our losing trades, but we're human. The thing is, AMD is now pulling back down and we're just getting out at those same spots. So I feel actually pretty good about not averaging in right there, even though this was the top. See, that's the difference in what I'm trying to change about myself, right? Sometimes you look in the mirror, you know, man in the mirror. You like Michael Jackson. Yeah. Okay, so it's why would I average into the short? Like, we already took the short at 130, you know? Like, obviously, when you're looking at the market at 330, things can change, but it didn't break. So all of this, since 130, all these shorts are printing out right now. So it's just like, I didn't want to average in there because then I felt like the market's breaking higher. Even though this is basing out and giving me that trade, it's just like, no, I felt like that might have been a trap. So when it comes back in, let's just keep taking it out, milk that trade as much as we possibly can, and then we'll see what happens from that point. I just had an opportunity to take out Microsoft right there for the dub. But I'm just going to say, if it wants to fall down, let's let it fall down. Again, right? We lost already there. 30, 40 cents, whatever it was. Now we're going to have to see if we can make that money back into 327. Target area is down here. 327.20, something like that, to wash the trade on Softy. Let's see where it goes right now into the close. Coinbase, obviously similar story, now making moves down. So these shorts that we put on at 1:30-ish, 2 o'clock, still printing. So, you know, those have been good. We made some money back here into the afternoon. All right, Uber, still a buy. Let's see. These are brokers, so this is what's on the floor of the NYSE right now. So as you can see, pretty much buys and sells, hence that $8 million number. I just wanted to show, million, right? Yeah. I just wanted to show that to you guys so you had a quick little gander at what's going on right there. All right, so AMD again, I do have more bids, sub 106. So, you know, if we do fall down, that's where we want to do it. Yo, what's up to Rainmaker? We've had a lot of people visit us, dude. Like, if you're ever in Toronto, probably never. Hey. Oh, thanks for that, Ramin. I was going to hit a fail on that one there. Animations are down right now, so probably never. But if you do come through Toronto, guys, please make sure, please make sure that you do visit us here. So you can always email marketing@tradertv.live. We've had a couple, we just had Nimit. Yo, shout out to Nimit. I know you're watching, my guy right here. We had a couple extra. I've already taken one home. We had a couple extra Singapore. Came all the way from Singapore.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Bottle openers. You got one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Thank you.
Shout out to Nimit as well.
It's been put to use as well. So, you know, on the floor here.
I hit the animation.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, there it is. Shout out to Nimit and everybody that's been visiting us at some point in time. So, all right. You know what? I'm actually going to get out of more. AMD just resisted. I'll just punch 104s right there. AMD did resist that 106 break, like as if we go this far just to hang out at 106. Hopefully we get a move down. I'm going to be here to not take any more out here until I get that 92 fill. So hopefully that can come down, and then we'll see if there is a collapse in the market. But look what happened again. We went right back down, man, and then completely stopped, Obi. So, yeah, this market, I'm really happy finally being able to empty some of these bags out for wins. I mean, that's the most important thing. All you're trying to do is win every day anyways, right? So Microsoft has refused to go down. That's going to be a problem for me. I feel like 328 is going to get taken out at any moment here on Softy as we just resisted. So this name wants to go up. Look at the market. Talk about resistance, man. It's a good play here for the market to go long.
Yeah, I just heard someone or saw someone in the chat talking about Sava, S-A-V-A. Now this is a name I haven't heard in a long time. Sava.
Yeah, no, I know.
Cassava
Cassava
Sciences?
Sciences. There was news about that because of obviously.
So
go ahead.
I have a few stories about. So this is one of the names I've been squeezed on in the past. So I don't know if you remember in the past, Cassava has is I call it it's another one of those like repeat offenders where it has the ability to do those liquidity traps. You know. It has a decent amount of interest. Again, and it's a biotech, right? So a lot of opportunity for moves either way on Cassava Sciences. But yeah, let's take a look back. Yeah, this ticker has seen a lot of different prices. Like take a look at this squeeze back in the day from down here, sub-dollar ticker. Sorry, sub $10 ticker. I remember some of these days down here when Cassava Sciences was underneath a couple dollars there. But yeah, you can. I think you can tell that this name has a bit of a chance to squeeze every now and then when it sets up the right way, as it has in the past. But yeah, again, Cassava Sciences. Always decent opportunity, but no, hasn't really been doing a lot of those kind of moves as of late. And I think part of that might be because it could have been fueled by some of those moves were fueled by the whole the COVID phase that we went through. So yeah, some of those names from those days, a lot of those biotechs are still around, and some of them were kind of have achieved new highs. I think Moderna was it Moderna or was it NVAX? Sorry, NVAX was the one where it kind of I remember trading it when it was like pretty much right here in and around these $10 levels, and then you guys know where Novavax went over the past couple of years, right? So some of these tickers decently pulled back from those COVID highs that we kind of experienced, right? So yeah, you see that 2020. Before that, it was just trading sub $10, and then 2020 comes along, and you're like, hey, this is a repeat offender. I have a decent strategy to short some of these, swing short some of these names, and you're like, oh, what's happening? Oh, we keep bidding up. Oh, I'm gonna add some more onto that. Yep, squizzles, straight to the moon. Get squeezed. So yeah, some of these names have decent volatility, but yeah, I think that was a lot of those moves were really driven by that COVID catalyst. We saw what kind of effects they had on the market, so people started getting long some of these names that had the potential to really kind of quote unquote cure the world, right? Or quell the symptoms of the flu. So you know. I think these had some decent volume, but yeah, if you're still holding the bag on some of these, they're back to where they started. So except for I think Moderna has held well. I think what's the other one as well? Pfizer, yeah. Funny thing, Pfizer was near the top of the markets.
They had a miss in one of their recent trials. Pfizer, yeah, because Pfizer's still getting beat up pretty good.
But they've been around for a while. They have a good drug base. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're one of the biggest in the world there with Merck and all those guys. They had a special blue pill that some people take. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. You might recognize the. They have these signs everywhere now. You know?
I forget. Oh, they had Lipitor as well.
Yeah.
What is the one I'm thinking of? You can say it. I forget. Viagra.
That's what I'm talking about. They have these signs all over Toronto now. It's like, oh, get like a free trial of Viagra or whatever.
Free trial.
Something not from Pfizer. Maybe you don't want to trust those, but I'm like, yeah, you're definitely seeing those little blue pill pictures around Toronto.
Yeah. Faux show. Okay, yeah, this is Pfizer's daily chart. It's been pretty disastrous to the downside right now for Pfizer. So Pfizer coming into $36, $37. It's just the wrong screen, but everything else is fine. Right there, 36 and change. So I've actually been buying some Pfizer down here. We'll wait to see if there is a bump up, but yeah. You know, some nice highs there, fading pretty good there, man. That looks like a Nike or something like that. All right, yeah, into the close here. It's 3:46. We will show you the imbalances when they do come. There it is. Perfect. We do have some good fills down there at 106, but let's go and listen to an ad.
IG.com trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, there it is. We did have Frank Caberna from IG, so make sure you scan that and go check those guys out if, of course, you are in the United States. Tesla now, I don't think that price might be, did Tesla just fade off that 258 level there? Yes, wow. Damn, Daniel. I shorted, what is he got those white, what is it? Back at it again with those white Vans, yeah. I do like that one. But of course, what is my, I'm short Microsoft that only wants to go up. It's all the way up. And then there's Tesla that we called as well at 258, all the way down. Right now, I'm going to test one more time here on Microsoft, give it to 250. 250. Maybe that's why I shouldn't trade it. 328, just a little bit north of that right now on Softy. We'll punch in a bit to see if that wants to go down against that level. So that's probably wants to go up. But yeah, that was a good call. And look what just happened on AMD. Money. Finally, there it is, man. I mean, this is, this is what I'm talking about when you hold some shorts. And, some of the names will work, obviously, and some of the names won't. But this is a good day here on AMD as it's just pulling back, right? So, I mean, we didn't short this. Obviously, looking back, we should have. But I told you why we didn't. We were short early and getting it late. So that's a good trade there. Coinbase back to $1 in the money. Let's just check out what GBTC is doing. Nice little drop down on that name there. NIO does hit 11, man. Wow. Congratulations on NIO today. Like that's anybody that believed in this name that held out on their account and didn't panic sell like a bunch did, man. We took huge advantage of this sell early. All my money was pretty much made early today. But then you had that bump up to 11 and a nice move down. We're only a minute away from these imbalances populating, so we can have a quick look at them when they do populate. Obviously, there we go. We're back into Softy right now. It stopped in the 60s before, so if we can get something now in the 70s, will give us a little bit of a trade, then into the 50s, and then we'll see if we can get a lower move on that. But I don't hold out too much hope that Microsoft is going to go to the downside. It just looks like it wants to hang out there. We shorted definitely the wrong name today. We should have been short that Tesla move. I know Google's been pulling back. Not sure what Amazon's doing. Probably Apple goes with it as well. Like, look at this market going lower, Microsoft going higher. I want to hate this stock, honestly, although it's one of my favorite stocks of all time. So sorry about saying that, Microsoft. We do like you a lot. That is for sure. Probably should have picked another name to short, though. That's a little irresponsible to go back in the same one. But here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Let's see what happens here. There it is. So Microsoft, it only goes down into the 80s, and we're only short at 8. Okay, there it is. Yes, sir. Nice pullback down for Microsoft now. Starting to go a little bit. We'll see if it's even on here. MSF, well, here comes the market. So, all right. Wow, if we wind up being flat somehow net-wise on Microsoft, I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll wait to see here if it does flush. Okay, so Google's a buy. So maybe I'll zoom in a little bit here so you can all see these a little bit. Google's a buy. If we have that number, we'll get it. Yeah. No rush, bro. Billion?
1.5 to build to buy.
1.5 to buy on the B side. B, go Bay side. You know what that's from?
Oh, what's?
That's fine. It's from Saved by the Bell, but that.
Oh, okay.
You know Zach Morris, like the real Zach Morris?
I've heard the name.
Beep, go Bayside. You know AC Slater?
No, I'm not familiar. I know that kind of reminds me of that
I'm
song.
so old.
From the Terminator, you know.
Oh, you know the Terminator.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
But no Kelly Kapowski.
I'm not. Yeah, no.
Was it
I'm
Jesse
not too,
Spano or something? Lisa Turtle. Okay, you know Screech.
I feel like I should know these things, but I kind of don't.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. I'm
a little
too old. Nah. I'm old, man.
No, I just don't know my pop culture very well. Let's just say
I know,
that.
but that's not.
Like, I'm not really.
This is pop culture back when I was a wee little one, like in the '90s. There. So shout out to everybody that's there. You know, everyone had a crush on Kelly Kapowski. Period. Like, and if you didn't, then honestly, right, Sharif? Go to Sharif. Thumbs up on Kelly Kapowski. What do you mean? Sharif is there. There he is. Okay.
There he is.
I was like, what, did Sharif just like take off on that? Right there.
Oh, magic.
Mr. Belding, we do not remember Mr. Belding, man. Just, Zach Morris should have been suspended like every single day right there, but was not. So shout out to that. The Bayside, was it the Bayside Bears or something like that? Anyways, who knows? I'm more, you know, whatever. Maybe I'm just here for entertainment as we go. But another good out for us in the 80s on AMD as we go. We did take advantage right there back in. I was going to ask Kat about Saved by the Bell, but I don't know. She may or may not know. But yeah, you know, hold on, Kat, you know Saved by the Bell?
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Okay, so she knows about it, but has never watched it. So okay.
Name the name that you were just naming and ask her if she knows that. 'Cause I know Saved by the Bell, but I didn't know any of the names.
Okay, do you know Zach Morris? No, so there you go. So that would be the number one name.
Okay,
So.
I feel a little
No,
bit better,
I
guess.
thought
don't know.
dude, it's not, you don't have to feel bad. I told you, I'm the one feeling bad, right? So don't worry about it. No, besides the point, now I've lost my train of thought, which doesn't happen too often, but it just happened now. Anyways, good show. Oh, there was a reboot for Saved by the Bell, I'm pretty sure.
I've definitely heard the name of the show. I just don't know much about it.
Well, I really derailed this show, so that was really great. Yeah, that is when television was innocent, man. Back in the good old days, like there was dinosaurs. Do you know Alf?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Alf, the little monster guy, used to run around eating cats and stuff like that. That was a family show, though. That was a great show. Alf.
I was really, really.
I mean, we can really
when
go
I was
back
on.
here. Like if Neil was here, you know, it would be game over.
I remember-
Three's Company
I remember
and stuff like-
running
Oh,
home.
Family Ties.
I remember running home from I think it was elementary school.
Yep.
Running home to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Nah, that's
That
not
was
me.
that was a little bit of my highlights. So like we would run home every day after school because like Dragon Ball Z would be on.
Yeah, well, that's a
and
classic, yeah.
Cartoon Network Sunday mornings.
I'm hearing Married with Children in my ear. I mean, that's again like Al Bundy, man. That guy. I don't know if you can get away with that show right now on primetime because that was a little sketch right there. Miss Applegate was in that show, of course. Christine Applegate. All right, so we only have 5 minutes left. Nice little pullback down. Microsoft went down into the 50s there, and we got a fill like that. What happened to that candle? Let me just check that out. How did we even get that fill down there? I didn't even notice that. How come? Oh yeah, look at this. Look on eSignal. Looky. Right there, it did hit 327.50. So our candle didn't fill out, but there it is on, there it is on eSignal. So yeah, anyways, we actually did well there on this Microsoft trade. So although it does flip over at 355 and go back up to the upside, again, thank you to everybody for watching today. Feel like we had a great amount of fun, man. Thank you again, Obi. It's only 355, but you nailed it today. Congrats on all the trades and everything. It's been a good one. We will end the day, obviously, higher in this afternoon than we started the show, so that's good for us right there, as Coinbase is now still $1 in the money, getting ready to take that one out. AMD flushed down for us here as well, as these are the only shorts that we had on heading into the show. There we did take an L, and we talk about this. Oh, there we go, they're working again. Microsoft, this was bad, this was good. Still negative on it. Wow, AMD just filled again. Nice fill on AMD. Okay, so there you go. What is happening with the biggest and the baddest of these guys?
Apple had a huge sell and kind of started selling off of that imbalance, I think.
Yeah, 487 for NVIDIA, not on Blue Ocean, but on the market right now. Nice downside move here. My voice was strong early, getting weaker now though. And I still got to do the after show. Join me on the after show. Did you guys send me the link? I didn't tweet that out yet. Join me on the after show, and we'll throw that down. I did not get the link yet, but maybe Trader TV Live will tweet it out, where we have Chris Brecher coming back from Simpler Trading. That should be a really fun day. He gave some great trade ideas yesterday. I'm going to talk to him about the Stewie patterns.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what that's all about.
Same. You'll be here, obviously, because you'll be doing your due diligence. We have a lot of things planned, man. I want to talk about the difference between Google and Microsoft and how they've been moving together as it was the AI platform play. Okay. Everyone thought that Google missed the boat on that. Now Google exceeding Microsoft. So we'll talk about that on the show. And then we'll talk about some earnings. We got Box tonight. Do we have the earnings board? Do you guys want to throw up the earnings board? I know it's not too huge, but we could talk about that. It's HP tonight and Box and Barella later on, and a few ones coming up tomorrow with CRM. Should be the one that most of us are looking at. So
I got this right.
Oh, there you go. You got Earnings Whisper. We can go over to your screen if you want.
Yeah. Actually, Yeah, I have some of these here. There's just some of them might be highlighted. This is not mine. This is kind of this is Wayner's copy.
That's okay.
that
I mean,
I've
those are
opened
ones
up,
to look at there. So we had NEO and Best Buy yesterday, this morning. After the close today, there it is, HP. So Hewlett Packard Enterprise coming through, and then there's Box, and there's Ambarella. So yeah, I guess I'm pretty good on that one. And then tomorrow during the morning time, nothing.
Yeah.
Really, right? So
Nothing
we'll look, and then it's the day after, man.
Dollar
Okta's,
General. I think that was, we had Dollar Tree as well, kind of sold off. Let's see if Dollar General does the same thing, right?
but I'm looking at after the close on Wednesday with that big, huge couple names there into the close. So we're going to have a big show tomorrow with all that. Tomorrow we'll have Daniel Shea on the show. No, tomorrow's Wednesday. Oh, I have Cray Day coming on. I have a market psychologist. She's been on our show before. Cray Day. She's going to be on tomorrow, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'll find her here on Twitter. Is it called Twitter? Is it called X? We had her on before. Here it is right here, the performance coach. I'm very, very excited, man. I'm able to wrangle her to come back on Cray Day coming tomorrow. I'm going to be absolutely fantastic performance coach. We do have a lot of traders around here. Psychology is a lot of the game. So we'll have her coming on tomorrow, and it should be real fun, man. So you want to talk about performance coaching and some of the advantages of that? She's going to be on tomorrow, and I think that's going to be a real fun show. So join me tomorrow at 4 o'clock as well. We're lining them up, baby. We're lining them up. So
I'm definitely interested in that. Like market psychology has always been a little bit of interest of mine, definitely.
Yep, good. Natalie Brunell as well. I'm going to come on. Natalie Brunell is going to come on this show in a little while, and then we'll have her on the close as well. But here we go, man. Obi, I got to take care of some of these positions. So right now we have Coinbase. That's okay. I just tried to punch out. Well, we did. So we punched, that's NVIDIA, sorry. We punched out a Coinbase right there. So let's just take that out at 60, giving us that $1. So that's a good one. And then the last trade to go that everybody knows that we've been sort of holding on to, we'll put a bid there at 87. Oh no, we're on NASDAQ, so we're part of that 2,000 there. It's got to, oh no, it had to hit us there. Oh, it just missed us at 87 again. Hopefully we'll get that fill at 87. Let's be a little bit greedy and see if we do get that. It's only 1 penny difference. And there it is right there. So we'll go hallelujah and give ourselves a little bit of diamond hands. Again, the wrong trade. A little bit of diamond hands there for the AMD fill. With now only 30 seconds, 20 seconds, Kat. You got to get over there if you want. There she goes. There's only a little bit of time left. Right now, the close is very strong, bouncing off some of those levels. The countdown is now on here. So what a good, I got to cancel my stop orders. Yeah, nice little close. We're closing near the top. 3, 2, 1. What a close, man. What a bounce off of 15.4 again. I was going to say my friend. That's a line from Sharif. The funny thing is, the more you hang around, the more that all these sentences just like I was never saying that kind of stuff. Now I'm saying my guy, all this kind of stuff and all these things. So shout out to everybody for watching, and a shout out to our great family that continues to be here every single day, man. Shout out to Igor. Hey, if anybody hasn't hit the like button.
Hola. Like and subscribe today.
So there it is, man. You just had Kat there in front of everybody. So thank you for ringing the bell, and thank you for hitting the like and the subscribe, man. Obi, I'm hearing from a little bird in my ear, and it may be the direct bird himself, looking like tomorrow's a possibility. So it's been a pleasure, Obi.
Oh, I just got what that meant.
Yeah, with Neil.
Oh, okay.
Neil, what do you think I meant?
Okay, yeah. No. I just got that. So
all right.
So you meant by that maybe Neil may or may not be in tomorrow.
May or may not be. Yes,
okay.
That's what I mean. But leaning towards the May. So I feel like I would love to even divide up the show and have more people come through as much as we possibly can. But Obi, man, Omen's work, thank you so much. Everybody will see you tomorrow on the midday or on this show as well. We don't know what's going to happen with you, but thank you so much
Neil
for everything that you've been done. Yeah, I think he feels fine. But Brendo also off right now, so we're lining him up and tearing him down.
It's spreading like wildfire.
Oh, you weren't here, but I said, or maybe you were. We need to get some air purifiers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One back there, one in front, one at the desk. I think think that would help, especially heading into flu season. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks to Ramin today, who's back. Thank you so much to Fabian. Big shout out to Kat, who's ironed up that back over there as well. There you go. Look at that smile. We like that. And again, thank you to everybody for joining us today. Thanks to Brankos. I know he helped you out a little bit today as well. Shout out to Sharif, who's doing the midday show. Shout out to Yannick. I mean, that guy's been killing it as well. Filling in for the Lambo man, Max, Max is good to go, man. He's ready to rock and roll as well. Look, the after show has a death clock on it. So it's got to stop at, there he is, there's Yannick. Oh, look at this guy, man. This guy goes all tank top with us there.
Sun's out, guns out.
Trying to deal, yeah, sun's out, guns out. Yeah, keep that quiet there. But I see it's in the background. When I'm here, nothing's going to be quiet. So there it is. Shout out to Yannick in the back, man. But what a great show. I got to head over to the desk. So it's been a good one, Obi. Have a great evening, man. And I'll see you after the after show as well. So thank you so much for everybody watching. Stay tuned. I got another half hour. It's going to be a fun one. Chris Bretcher coming. More ideas. The Stewie pattern is what we're going to be talking about. So let's throw it over to Sharif. Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Take care. See ya.
What a day on the market it was today, guys. The major indexes up for the third consecutive day. Let's see what was moving markets today. Tesla up huge.